There's supposed to be a Kevin Durant trade happening, and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm not alone in saying this. Jeremy, the internet has been ablaze. Basically, everybody who's even tangentially involved with the NBA has been hinting, without reporting, Kevin Durant's about to be traded. And there's supposed to be, in my understanding, to be even more irresponsible, like a 3-team deal involving some major franchises. So what is the latest? What is the internet telling everybody?
Yeah, some of the latest reporting is insinuating that there could be a 3-team deal between the Heat, the Warriors, and the Suns that lands Jimmy Butler in Phoenix and Kevin Durant back with the Golden State Warriors. I'm intrigued to see how and why the Suns would make that move given the circumstances. To me, the only logical explanation for moving Durant and bringing in Butler is if Booker genuinely wants to stick around for the long term and you're trying to extend a window with another competitive veteran wing. But you're a bad team right now if you're Phoenix. So acquiring Jimmy to then extend him, given the timelines, it might not make sense. They might even be welcoming him in with the idea of clearing out cap space in the offseason and tearing the whole thing down.
Jeremy, there's one thing that you're missing in this analysis is that what Pablo was really saying is he was at the restaurant reading his phone, getting what he thought was inside information that we may have to leave dinner at any time, mid-claw, that this trade was imminent, definitely happening, and that he had somehow this connection. My guy's never wrong.
I have a guy.
He has a guy.
I have a guy.
He wakes up this morning, and it turns out the guy is not the guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah, Jeremy has the same guy, it turns out.
Apparently, that guy is waiting till 3 p.m. tomorrow just like every other guy. And you were offended to be so normal and out of the loop.
Can I clarify with Jeremy, though? Who are the Heat supposed to get in this?
I believe the Heat would be landing a combination of Andrew Wiggins and picks and other salary
that's what I
filler.
had heard from my guy. Which is funny. Look, I want to talk about ownership, though, because we just referenced just now the Phoenix Suns and their owner, Matt Ishbia. Like, what is he doing? I was hoping Amin would be here for this, but we can pick it up when he's also around. I think that the media in general, the way we talk about the Luka Doncic thing, is very backwards. I think it's remarkable how much we've missed the forest and the trees. This is a story about ownership. Nico Harrison has gone from a guy speaking of guys, I've never seen a guy go from 0 to 1 million in terms of nobody knows who he is to everybody has a developed opinion. And we have talked so much about the strategy and the architecture of the trade. Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka saying that Nico Harrison was basically in private conversations with him. They've known each other for years through Nike, and they've had to keep this secret, and they made it happen. David, this is a decision that must originate with the people who own the Dallas Mavericks.
100%.
And I don't think people even know largely that Mark Cuban no longer owns the Dallas Mavericks. And it infuriates me because I did an episode about who does own the Dallas Mavericks, obviously, Miriam Adelson and her son-in-law, Patrick Dumont.
Where can we find that episode?
Pablo Torre finds out. It's available on YouTube. We have 99,200 subscribers. Come be our 100,000th.
What do you get for that?
You get a plaque. You literally get a plaque.
Are you going to give someone a plaque?
I mean,
for being the 100th?
No. I'm going to get a plaque.
Oh, so you just want people to join?
Yeah.
Show?
I mean, I'll send them a photo of the plaque.
Pablo thing, isn't it?
I digress. The point is, this is an ownership story, and it's less so a GM story, as much as the GM story is colorful and funny and amazing. But I just think you must follow the money here, and the money is a very clear. It's the plot, not the subplot.
So the money with the trade, I don't agree. I think you have to focus on the truth that Nico was not alone. There is a report this morning that J.J. Redick knew about the trade during the Knicks game, before the Knicks game, and that he was super excited and he was in a great mood and all happy, which would track that the coaches would know, while Jason Kidd sat there pretending I had no idea, looking like someone stole his lunch money.
That's my favorite part of this whole thing, just how awkward he looked during that press conference.
Wasn't that amazing? Do we have a photo of Jason Kidd? Is there anything worse than being forced to go to a press conference and having to be the, what's the word for when you're not in the know, the straight man?
I think the long term is the time frame.
I was joking yesterday that do you think he tried to get out of that press conference? Do you think like he was just like, you got this, right, Nico? Like,
100%.
I got a call, and he's just like, no, I think we should be aligned on this. Come on up. And he's just like, oh, all right, I'll go up there.
We staff press conferences in advance. You say who's going to be up there. And if someone makes a big issue, if a player makes a big issue or the GM, you can get the AGM, but you need someone from the baseball front office to take the heat off you as having made the decision. And I don't know why Nico would bring him up there just to say that he's been neutered. It made no sense to me.
Well,
I'm not buying it.
Look at that face.
It's the theater of all of it, right? Look, and again, do I buy that LeBron didn't know about this? Do I buy that, Clutch was not involved when they represent LeBron and Anthony Davis in this, and they wouldn't have shared information? I don't buy any of that, obviously. But the owner story, this is a multi-billion-dollar franchise at the center of which is this kid, is this 25-year-old. And Nico Harrison does not have the power unilaterally to be like, I have an idea. This has to come from the people who own and bought the team.
No, the idea can come from the GM, but it has to get approved by the owner.
But my point is, the idea can't go anywhere
without the owner.
Unless the person who pays the bills is like, yes. And so to your point, though, I want to acknowledge the best case scenario for this story in terms of what were the Adelsons sort of aware of? It's that they didn't care, right? The question of how mad should you be as a Mavs fan at the owners of your team, the most generous interpretation of the order of events here is that they didn't care when Nico Harrison was like, I have an idea. They said, whatever, go do it. Like, we're not going to spend a ton of time thinking about this. That's the most generous interpretation.
That's awesome. That's no meddling. Isn't that what you guys want from your owners? Letting the basketball and baseball people make the decision. You always complain about that. The owners are too involved.
I mean, I think you just want whoever doesn't suck at it to do it.
Make good